Hello, friends of Lance. Friday, July 3rd, 2 days before Brazil versus Norway, another very hot day here in Morristown. A little less, we even took the opportunity to check out the little lake in the background. You know that scene of a guy in the desert looking for a little lake that looks like an oasis? Yeah, but this one is real, this one actually exists. Well, in the training session just now, where we had access for 15 minutes, there were two returns which were never in doubt. Rayan, he didn't train yesterday. He stayed in the gym with load management, and the return that had been expected for 2 weeks, we didn't know exactly when it would happen. But Rafinha went back to training with his teammates, took part in the rondo, went through the gauntlet, and Rafinha is an option for Sunday's game.
Yeah, in the 15 minutes we had access, he participated, right? Following the same protocol that Neymar also followed. We don't know if after those 15 minutes he continued training with the group. The expectation is that Raphinha still isn't able to play to participate in this game against Norway on Sunday at Match Life Stadium. The tendency is that he might even be included, show up on the bench. Just like Neymar showed up in the game against Morocco, in Neymar's case, he appeared with a note next to his name, so he wasn't officially listed, but he was on the bench. We have a rough idea that Raphinha will be in the same situation. He won't be used in this game yet and will actually be used later. If Brazil gets past Venezuela and then possibly Norway. From Norway, he could take part in a possible quarter-final, right? Against England or Mexico over there in Miami. But it's great news, right? Raphinha is coming back. He took part. He went through the gauntlet just like Neymar did when he recovered. He took part in the warm-up, right?
The gauntlet was pretty light.
Right. Pretty light, but Casemiro always leaves his mark, that little kick from behind. Yeah, just joking around with the players, it was really cool. Raphinha ran by, took part in the training. Yeah, with the group. In the warm-up, he joined a circle, a warm-up with the ball, right? That's what I usually call it. A lot of people call it bobinha. I call it a warm-up with the ball. That's where the players loosen up, yeah, to start the real activity with Ancelotti, right? Ancelotti starts setting up the team for the game against Norway. Norway on Sunday, and from what we've seen, Danilo Santos should be the starter in Lucas Paqueta's place.
Just a reminder, Paqueta still hasn't been back in training even though the same protocol was applied to Neymar and also to Rafinha. When a player gets injured, he trains separately, stays in the gym, stays with the physiotherapist. We haven't seen Paqueta since the injury. If he manages to recover, the forecast is only for the last week of the World Cup. It would be for a possible final. Well, it's a doubt for Carlo Ancelotti. Yanaka already mentioned it. It should only be one position, right? He should keep the same formation with three midfielders and three forwards. Exactly.
Exactly. And every day that goes by here, we see the presence of the Norwegian press, right? Many people from Norway here, not fans, but journalists from Norway,
Who also cheer.
who also cheer for Norway. Duzan even chatted with some of them, yeah, who told us the correct pronunciations of the Norwegian players' names. You can check it out on social media. Yeah, about that. The pronunciation. That joke Duzan made with him. And the names are really different from how we usually pronounce them in Brazil, right? Haaland, for example, we say Haaland, but how do they say it, Duzan? Rolando. It's already completely different. I hope Haaland doesn't play with all the talk about Rolando and that he doesn't score goals. Because Haaland is doing really well in this World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, 5 goals in the tournament. So he's doing well with the Norway national team, and we hope he doesn't score the goals he usually scores, right?
Yeah, but one interesting thing in this conversation I had with the Norwegian journalist is that last week the Japanese journalists were confident about a Japan win over Brazil. In fact, some of the ones I talked to said they thought it was going to be a close game and that they felt the gap between Brazil and Japan was already much smaller than in the past. But the Norwegians, according to this journalist I talked to, he said that if Norway eliminates Brazil, it will be one of the biggest events ever recorded in Norway. They don't believe that Norway has the ability to beat Brazil under normal circumstances, but yes, they are betting a lot on the great form of Haaland, who is, after all, the big player, the main attraction of Norway. But again, the Norwegians, unlike the Japanese, don't believe that Norway can beat Brazil.
I hope they're right. The Japanese predicted a close game and it was a tough match for the national team. Brazil, despite having control there, conceded a goal due to a mistake. But the Japanese team is really tough. really hard to face, you know. The Japanese team runs a lot. Yeah, it was really a tough game. I hope the Norwegian journalist gets that prediction right that we're going to get past them, you know, but it's a tough game. Brazil versus Norway. Remembering that in the 98 World Cup we faced them in the group stage, yeah, in that World Cup we lost 2-1. Their winning goal was a penalty. On that occasion, the defender Junior Baiano pulled the Norwegian striker Tore Andre Flo. I still remember that name to this day.
And then there was a sticker of him.
There was his sticker in that World Cup, and then they scored from a penalty and ended up winning. Anyway, it's a tough match for Brazil. We hope the national team can get this result. Remembering that this afternoon there will be press conferences with Matheus Cunha and Douglas Santos. For me, among the standouts of this Brazilian team, no, he didn't let the team down in any of the matches he played. He's been performing well, just like Bruno Guimarães, who for me is also one of the standouts of the World Cup. Besides our attack, with Vini Jr. and Matheus Cunha, who have been the top scorers of our team.
Another thing is, it's been going viral a lot since the match between Brazil and Norway was confirmed. The duels between Roland and Gabriel Magalhães, especially in the Premier League. Carlo Ancelotti has already made it clear, and we can see it in the games, that Brazil doesn't do man-to-man marking. Do you think that will happen again in the first leg?
I don't think so, okay? Because Haaland always stays inside the box, I think Gabriel Magalhães will end up spontaneously being the marker for the Norwegian striker. Yeah, and I think it's going to be a very interesting duel to watch, you know? The same thing we've seen in those videos circulating on social media. I just don't know if the referees are going to allow as much grabbing as we see in those videos, right? One pulls from here, pulls from there.
Ronaldo even said he hopes Gabriel doesn't tear his shirt like it's happened before.
Exactly. When Duzan mentioned what's going viral online, I expected him to talk about the jokes people have made. Yeah, there are some funny videos of Vini Jr. and Haaland from that movie going around. Yeah, reminding us of that scene from the movie White Chicks with the lead actor singing to one of the girls, right? Yeah, anyway, it's really funny what's been going on like that.
Even Vini Jr. Vini turned into Terry Crews.
Yeah, even arriving on the field, a journalist joked with Vini, asked about the memes, and he just laughed, smiled, and went to training. That's it. This matchup will be really fun to watch. We hope the national team comes out with the win once again.
To wrap up, we're going to talk quickly about Neymar. Neymar, he's been pretty outgoing. Neymar, he's really comfortable in training, right? Yeah, on Igor's birthday, Thiago asked the journalist who was going to buy the present. And today, when he came in here, he said good morning to the journalists, but got a kind of shy response. Everyone was focused on getting their shots. When Neymar said good morning loudly, everyone greeted him back. He's very comfortable and at ease.
I think Neymar really understands how important he is to this group, even though he's not a starter for Coach Carlo Ancelotti, okay? I think he's been a key player in connecting the younger and more experienced players, being a good advisor. Henrique even mentioned this at the press conference yesterday. So, I think Neymar has been a good advisor for this group, and I think he'll come in at the right time. He'll come in when Brazil needs him, because Neymar is world class. So, I think in this generation we're seeing Messi and Cristiano are, above any doubt, and I think Neymar is on that same level as them. But Neymar has gone through injuries and more injuries in recent years, and in 2023 he had a very serious knee injury. Anyway, I think Neymar will be ready at the right time, but he has been a key player for this Brazil squad during their preparation here in the United States.
And without any criticism or anything, I think he's doing a very important job on the bench during the games. He talks to the players, calls them over, encourages them, and no.
We have
We've
seen several videos of Neymar in that area, during the hydration break, even in the locker rooms. Hendrik discussed this yesterday, saying he gives advice, including to Ryan, whom he guided. Ryan's performance improved in the second half of the game against Japan. Yeah, so I think Neymar coming was really important. Neymar isn't playing. Neymar isn't, but I think Neymar is an important piece because he's Neymar. So we see several players. Oh, the player from the Norway national team, the other winger, Nusa. If I'm not mistaken, he cites Neymar as a role model. Lamine Amal from Spain mentions Neymar as a reference. Many of our players here mention Neymar as their idol. So another important point is that what's been going around here is that the Japanese coach started making changes to his team, and only Ancelotti has been rehearsing a possible entry for Neymar. Maybe that even helped us get the win. Yeah, in the second stage match of the World Cup. So, Neymar, even without being on the field, not coming into the game, he still has his importance for the group, and I think he's been fundamental in this overall context. Carlo Ancelotti, the changes, the squad, the group, I think the group has come together. It's growing at the right time. So, that's it. Let's hope Brazil goes far, beats Norway, and moves on to the quarterfinals. And where is the World Cup?
It's right here. Just a reminder that the national team will have their last training session on Saturday morning. Extreme heat is expected, folks, all the way through Saturday night, okay? Sunday game time, 4 p.m. local time. The forecast is that it won't be exactly cooler, but it will be less hot than it is today. That's it. See you later.